Hi, my name's Tom Coopey. I'm vicar here at St John's Church in Weymouth, and I really hope you enjoyed this video about our work with children and young people.
One of the first things that we tried to do actually was just make a real visual statement. So when people came in through the door, they realised that this church is a church that welcomes children. So we just set up an area at the back of church and bought some toys. And so as people walked in, they could see straight away, okay, yeah, children are welcome here.
It's been a period of adjustment, I must be honest, but I think we're getting used to it now, and it's been absolutely wonderful. I actually saw them do their testimonies and then got baptised in the sea, and boy, wasn't that an amazing afternoon. And they're just amazing teenagers. They help each other, they support us, and I think we can learn from them as well. So adjustment at the beginning, and now it's just great. We're one big happy family.
I think for a long time we've felt like a real team in ministry, although we've had different roles and different responsibilities. We feel like we're called together to serve, and we've known for a long time that a big emphasis of that serving is around working with children and young people. So years ago we did a lot of youth work together, and now very much feel like we're in it together here at St John's and leading the children's and youth work ministry forward in the direction that we have been.
I think when we arrived as well, just for our own children to look around and not really see many people of their own age, we were really keen for them, knowing what it was like for us growing up, the importance of having other people around you the same age as you.
Yeah, and I think it's for both of us, we'd say it's a big part of our testimony, our upbringing, that actually we enjoyed church. And we were obviously grew up in different places in different parts of the country, but both of us grew up in church. And so often one of the reasons that kept us going and that we loved it was that actually our friends were there was a sense of community. And actually that just feels right, that church continues to be that actually for all ages, we're a community, we're a family together. That's pragmatic, it gets people wanting to come to church, but I think it reflects Jesus' ministry as well, the one who gathers people together, puts people into families and communities, and we're just delighted seeing that that's now happening for our children and for other children and young people who are coming onto the church.
Yeah, I think we've worked really hard to try and make it a place that people want to come to, so that we want our children to want to come to church, and we want that for other families as well.
Well, it's been a joy. There was a time when we had very few young people, and gradually over the last few years it's built up to more and more little ones running around and more young families coming.
Being baptised, it didn't feel like what I thought it was going to feel like. It felt more real to me, more personal, more like Jesus met me right there in the water.
Mainly, we want to just help these young people develop and become part of their community, whether that's their community at home, whether that's their community at school, or whether that's the community here in church. And we want the young people who come to our place to feel secure and to feel that they can be themselves. Christ welcomed everyone, and that's what we want to do, and that's what our goal is really. So we have Hope House, which is a building just over here, and at Hope House, that's sort of the centre, if you like, of the youth work that we do, and that's for people to come to. I then also work in other churches doing other projects. But yeah, most of the stuff takes place in Hope House, and people come along to that. And we had somewhere between 21 and 24 young people every week that would come to the Alpha course. We would feed them standard Alpha. We had a meal together, then we discussed and we explored together. And so that was the Alpha numbers. Up at St Aldham's, which is another church, we have an Alpha course there of a Sunday night, and that we get about 13 young people come to that. That's just coming towards the end of that. And then we also did an Alpha school, just a small Alpha group in the school, the secondary school. So in the secondary school, we get about 8 and 10 young people come to that. And so this past year, we've seen a great amount of engagement. I think one of the keys to seeing growth, to seeing young people wanting to engage in a faith group, is just what I said earlier, is that family, is acceptance, is love, is communicating with families and the community, but it's also letting young people see that actually faith-based groups, they're just normal groups, but they've got we have that added advantage, I believe. But it's just being someone who loves young people. I think that's the key. is actually loving the young people in our community.
We do lots of games. I love the songs that we do here. I like how we come in and we get to play a bit before we talk about things about the Bible and about God. But each week we sort of look at a story from a different part of the Bible. It means quite a lot because you get to spend excitement with more people your age, so it makes the learning a lot more fun.
My favourite thing about kids group is the songs.
My favourite thing about the youth group is that how friendly the people are.
Makes me feel more happy because I get to play and talk to other people my age.
But when I go to school, I've got like exams to do and stuff like that, and just knowing there's someone there that I can go to outside of school to talk to and to like spend time with, or just to pray in general.
It's had such a big impact in like helping me grow in my relationship with God, but also just giving me like a community of Christians that I can turn to.
Just helps me have like a stronger gain of faith. Like my faith is strong with God, and it helps me like just want like as if God's telling me to be a church and be a role model to like the young people here, because like He's been there for me, and sort of I can be there for them as well.
My favourite thing about the youth work here is the fact that we feel like a family and that we can freely talk about how we feel.
Oh, well, it impacts my life because, well, for the weekday sessions, we have a Tuesday and a Thursday session, which they're really good for, like, yeah, if you've had a bad day, you'll go in there and you just know you can have fun because it's your friends and everything. So then that puts you in a good mood for the next few days. And then on the Sunday ones, we do stuff like Bible studies and like memorising verses and that, and then you can like keep that with you throughout the week.
The PRAY acronym is really helpful as we think about our journey here. We've prioritised youth work. We've done that in the way that we've talked about it, in the way that we've prayed about it. We've sought to resource it by using the people that we have and the building to make it a great venue for working with young people, as well as buying a new resource in Hope House, our new youth centre. We've had to adapt. Everyone's had to adjust to that, making space for more people in the church, a different way of looking at how we use our money and our resources. And it is for everybody. And so the message to this church is it's for you to be involved in this. And so as a whole church, we're together on that journey of working with young people.